So I'm going to be discussing the assessment that I did over Jennifer in class today. So much like the other student, Jennifer came over after school with her parents' permission. This time her mother nor father, no one came with her. She was there by herself. I did allow the administration to know what was going on. This went significantly quicker than it did with my elementary student. The process was simple. Selfishly, I decided that I was going to assess her over her ability to infer, which does go along with her testing because in her testing it showed that inferencing would be a struggle. Verbal comprehension could slightly be a struggle, along with any kind of reading comprehension. And since we are starting To Kill a Mockingbird, a huge novel, by any ninth grade standards, this coming week, I decided that inferencing and reading comprehension would be a skill that would definitely need to be assessed and something that would really be applicable to her upcoming academic pursuits in my class. So with that, the way I decided to do this was I went through and I found, honestly, random sentences in the first 5 or 6 chapters, and I tried to pick sentences where there was either tier 1, tier 2, tier 3 words. I tried to keep it pretty even. Some were easier than others, and what I would do is I would give her it looks like a graphic organizer. So I would have the quote that I pulled directly from the text. I would have a word that was bolded in the quote, and that was the word she had to infer the meaning of. So she read the line, she got the word, and then she had to attempt to infer the definition. She would then write the definition in the second box. And after that, she would use that definition to write that word in a sentence. Now, Jennifer was able to correctly infer around 25% of the words via the sentence given in the box. However, if she was not correctly able to infer the word, I would guide her in the right direction, give her some hints, allow her to guess the meaning until we got there. From there, she would take that word and she would use the word in a sentence of her own. This showed that she had full comprehension and an understanding of what the word actually meant. I'm attempting to go to my computer right now. Excuse me, I have stuff all over my desk. I wanted to read an example of what this would look like. So, one of the words that was given her was unfathomable. The sentence from the text was, "For reasons unfathomable to the most experienced prophets in Macomb County, autumn turned to winter that year." Now, as a student, if you have no idea what that word means, that could be really hard to understand. This was one of the ones that she struggled with, and I eventually had to give her the definition, which meant impossible to understand. From there, she wrote a sentence that says, "The weather is unfathomable." Now, if you are in Arkansas in the last few weeks, you get that she comprehends the meaning of that word because our weather has been quite unfathomable. Some of the other words that I gave was vapid. Let's see what else. I know vapid, I think dull. There was several, but like I said, around 25% of the time. My biggest issue with this, and if I could go back and do this again, and I kind of want to go back and do this again, is that I gave myself like absolutely no way to score this. This was almost more of observation for me. I was able to observe that she accurately inferred the word about 25% of the time. But I have zero way to take the work she has given me and put it into some kind of scoring format for me to be able to show other people, for them to accurately understand her understanding of these words. I wish what I would have done is that I would have gathered, once again, about 20, 25. I mean, it could go as far as 50 lines, and I would have just read the line and said, based off the sentence, what do you think the word da-da-da means? And then maybe repeated the sentence again and see if she was able to infer the meaning that way. And then I could have just checked yes, X no, she did not. And then I would have been able to come up with a percentage and an accurate scoring capability to show her, comprehension and her inferencing abilities. But I didn't do that. And so with all that being said, that is probably my biggest regret in this. However, I was able to see that Jennifer does have the ability to infer. Sometimes it took a little bit of extra help from me, but not much. She is very capable. And the more exciting part is once she did have understanding of the word, she was almost every time able to accurately use it in a sentence. Now, there may be some tense issues and definitely some grammar issues, but other than that, she did a very good job.